Good morning, welcome. Today we're going to hopefully get some trusses on there so we get a really good picture of what the tiny lodge is going to look like as far as a framing aspect. I have a delivery coming today of clapboards. It's going to be stained a cedar looking color. Pretty excited about that. And then we're going to have, they're going to deliver some wall sheathing. So we'll start putting that on, framing it up. And we'll have a discussion of how, like the trailer's not sitting necessarily level. It's not level. But typically when we built garages a few years ago, we'd build on the principle of square. So if your foundation is square, that's good. That's a good starting point. But when we put the walls on, we would do just the framing, put those up just like you see it here. Then we would attach the wall sheathing in a 4x8 sheet. So we know that sheathing is square. It's pretty square. Sometimes it's off a 16th or an 8th diagonally, and not much. But we would attach tight to here, to wherever we're stopping at this point. And then when we come over along the bottom, if we have to move that up, it would rack the wall one way or the other and automatically plumb it. So that's how we would do that. And that will work really good in a situation like this. So that's how we're going to square the building. And it'll be interesting when we get up to the top. We could take a diagonal, and ideally the top measurement will be the same as the bottom measurement. So that's where that's at. So the first thing I'm going to do today is put on the top plates all the way around and then start working on the trusses. All right. These are the two side plates for the front part of the tiny lodge. And so this is the front. So there'll be a truss right on the front. These are overlapping the front. Well, I'll show you when we get up there. But the front wall will be coming across like this, and the side wall comes 3.5 inches back somewhere in here and goes across. So we always try to overlap those for strength. So we're right at the very front of the tiny lodge, and we're 2-foot centers. So we go 2 feet and hold back 3/4 of an inch. All the way down through there until we get down to the end here. So this plate is 95 1/4 inch, 1/4 inches long. It's 3/4 of an inch short because this will be the end of the roof up above when we get there. So we'll go nail these on, and we'll do the taller ones. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trusses for down below on the lower roof. Okay, so point of interest, I am going to be putting on hurricane straps on most of them. Not like I won't put one on here because this is going to be nailed into the truss. Will be nailed into this top plate. Ooh, in the bag. Good job. Okay, so what I was trying to explain feebly, feebly. Okay, it butts up against the taller wall. I want to bring it out flush here and here. This the wall is not nailed yet. I was going to wait till I got up on a ladder to do that, so this will be the appropriate time. But I'm going to put 4 nails into this corner, so that goes down into this one. So that fixes that. Now I can move this wall, and it'll come out flush to there. keep my hand away. And I'll nail into there. To there. And then you just feel along as you go. Make sure you're flush on the outside. Okay, we pull that in. I think my air pressure must be turned down. I better go fix that. I'll nail through here to make sure it's secure. And that completes this side. I turned the air pressure up. We'll see if it drives them a little better. Not sure why that was. Could be lack of use for the gun, huh? Okay, I can nail that because that wall's flush. Oh yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, that's good there, good there. Good. Now for the top. Actually, we're going to finish the bottom, right? Right. Is that right? Is that right? There won't be any markings on this top plate. It'll just, there's nothing going to be nailed into it specifically. 87 inches. Perfect. Someone had asked me if I had allowed for the wall for the 2-foot stud layouts, and I did. It's right on 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot. So we're good there. Okay. Top plates back here. All right, this is the same process as the front. Just a taller wall. Woohoo! Should have an 8-foot ladder. I'll have to get my 8-foot ladder out here at some point. I think that points right now. Hold on, I gotta get a pretty orange ladder. I have to change my motto to, you know, safety first or something catchy like that. Okay, I'm going to nail, this wall's kind of floating around at the top. Get it good and flush. Good. Okay, that looks good. 4 nails in the corner. Oh, moving around. Put one out here. That really ties in the corners by overlapping those. Very important. Very important to have nails. I brought a coil out with me, so I'll just load up. There, over to the other side. Okay, so I'm building the trusses, and the peak cut is 22.5, as well as the bottom cut will be 22.5. I've determined the length because we know that the trailer or the framing outside to outside is 7'10". So I'm going to make it 3 inches more on each side. That'll give us 8'4". That'll give room for fascia and drip edge and the roofing to stay under 8'6". So I've actually already cut one of these. This, by the way, I marked this out while I had it laying here. This is going to be a gusset that I'll use on some of the trusses where they don't have a wall under them. Okay, so that's there. Let's look on this end. So it's not really a bird's mouth, but I made it so that outside of wall to inside of wall is 3.5 inches. And it'll be a double fascia board. That'll be the fascia. I'm using aluminum coil stock that'll bend around and it'll come back against the building. So that'll take care of that. So now all I need to do is there's going to be, I'm not sure, I can't remember now, I figured it out, 10 or 12 trusses that have to be made like this. So I think it was 12. I have some cutting to do, so I better get at it. I'm still working on cutting the trusses. It's just a lot of work. It takes, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours probably to cut everything, make the gussets, and then nail them together and get them all firmed up good and solid. So I'll be nailing on the hurricane straps next video and finishing those. I did want to show, I got OSB, $14 a sheet, I think it was, just under, something like that, for all of the wall sheathing and the roof. This, let me show you a close-up of that, is really, really nice stuff. I won't take it all out, but it's spruce, and it was 66 cents per foot, per linear foot, which is a really, really good price. Cedar is double or triple that, probably triple. It's going to have a cedar stain on it, semi-transparent, so it'll bring out the grain and the knots. Should be really nice looking. Prime spruce is, I think it's $1.50 a foot, something like that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get started on staining. That's really going to set this building off. Okay, what else we got? I just want to recap everything before I go. Back in here, the walls are 9 foot tall to the top of the wall, right there, and then the trusses to the bottom of the trusses will be about 17 inches. So that's going to give 9, 10 foot, 5 inches. 10 foot 5 will be the overall height to the peak. So if we put, I think I made some hieroglyphics here. If we did a 6'4" ceiling down here, that's kind of, I don't want to go any less than that. 6'4" to there. And then it's going to take about 6 inches by the time you figure framing and a mattress up above. So we're up to there. That leaves us 26 plus 17, 36, 43 inches. Let's look at that, see what 43 inches looks like. For illustration purposes, I set a screw at 43 inches on both sides. And I'm about to sit under it, so I'm going to put a screw so it won't fall out. There, okay. So this represents the floor up in the loft. Or actually, okay, let's just use our imagination for a minute. So I know I'm sitting on the floor on, downstairs. If there's from this floor to the ceiling finished is going to be just under 6'4", because there'll be some sort of a ceiling treatment, some sort of boards or something to finish it off. So then from up above, if I'm on the top of the mattress, allowing 6 inches for a mattress, sitting here, and it'll be 43 inches to the peak. So the roof will go, this will be turned the other way, going, this will be the ridge. But just for illustration purposes, sitting here, at a 512, it'll come down to the outside walls. It'll drop 17 inches going that way. Right now I have, what do I have? Let's see if I can measure it this way. On my head, so sitting up, I'm 5'10". I used to be 5'11". That's funny. It's funny how your bones, everything wears out and wears down. Okay. I have 9 inches of headroom here. That's comfortable. So theoretically you could tip sideways and not hit your head if you're in the center. So that will allow for an egress window up there, probably on the back. I don't think on the side. As we go along further, we'll look at that and see. Over on that end, well, so the kitchen can be underneath here. There's enough headroom to do that. Stairs will likely be here and go up, and there'll be storage under the stairs for the whatever, for a kitchen or whatever you might want. So I think it's coming together. I think it's working well. One other thing, or there's always one other thing, right? I'm not going to do the electrical. And I contemplated, I've gone back and forth, just doing the shell exterior finished, so that it's bare studs, just like you see it, no insulation, so that a homeowner could finish it themselves. That's a serious option that I would do. So I've been looking for an electrician, which is, it's really hard because they're all busy, especially during the summer. They're booked out. Same for the plumbing. I'm not going to do the plumbing. I would sub that out. So if any of y'all are a licensed electrician and want to come up for free, I don't know. I'm looking for options. If you folks have any ideas on what could be done for that, that would be great. Both electrical and plumbing. I just don't want to do it. I want to do what I do, which is building, not the other trades. So leave a comment and let me know what you think about that. If you think it's okay to just do the shell, I would really like to finish it off inside. But if it's just a shell, then that really keeps the cost down to the point where a homeowner could finish it off inside. Then it's the kind of the easy part. And if it's a homeowner, they can do their own electric and plumbing without a problem. So that's where we're at. Hit the like button, share, leave a comment, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and have a great day. See you later, and up I go.